It's hard to overestimate how much self-control I am currently exercising to restrain myself from diving straight in with the final 5 minutes of Evil Genius, Netflix. It's rather a lot, because those last 5 minutes. Oh boy, to even hint at what's to come would entirely give the game away, as would, in fact, looking at the title for the second episode. Suffice to say that it makes it utterly, deliciously worth sitting through the preceding 40 minutes of sometimes slightly labored scene setting, and you might as well cancel the rest of your evening plans, because you won't be getting up from the sofa anytime soon. This documentary series, yep, another one, is the latest in the "if you liked making a murder then you'll love this" canon, and, by this point, the Netflix pods are near experts in milking a true crime story, turning one man's horrifying life story into proper, meaty, jaw-on-the-floor entertainment. And hurrah for that. Pictured, police trained their guns on pizza delivery man Brian Wells. Netflix. The secret, of course, is finding a truly bizarre tale with extraordinary characters, endless archive footage and enough labyrinthine twists to provide each episode's necessary cliffhanger. And so bravo to the researcher who stumbled upon the strange tale of the eerie pizza bomber, which has the full flush, complete with dishy FBI agents, a camera-happy reporter, and a decapitated corpse. The start of the first installment, a narrator recalls that there are 3 things we need to know about Marjorie Diehl Armstrong, who one would reasonably assume to be the titular evil genius. We learn one fact, that she was never what you would call normal, but the other 2 are left tantalizingly unsaid until the final moments. Instead, the episode continues to focus on the story of 46-year-old Brian Wells, pictured, FBI agent Jerry Clark. Netflix. The salient facts of his case are these: in 2003, the pizza delivery driver committed a bank robbery with a bomb strapped to his neck. Found in his car and on his person were pages of rambling yet forensically detailed instructions. When the police arrived, Wells was attempting to solve clues in the notes that would lead him on a hunt, at the end of which would be the key which would unlock the collar and free him. But he was handcuffed and kneeling alone on a concourse, the cops' guns trained on him. When the timer ran out, the device detonated and he bled to death, unaided. But what is the real story here? Was Wells a fantasist, who elaborately plotted his own gruesome public suicide? Or was he, in fact, taken hostage and forced to commit a crime before being murdered by his attacker? And what on earth does Diehl Armstrong have to do with any of this? In the course of answering these questions, and so many more, the story becomes ever more bizarre. There are bodies in freezers, conspiracy theories and jilted lovers, and a journalist who has entered into a decade-long correspondence with a mentally unstable inmate. It's a cracking watch, and although later episodes drag slightly, you'll forgive anything when the first reveal is such a stunner. Pick of the day: Lucky Man. Skybox sets lucky fans of the Stan Lee drama, starring James Nesbitt, will be getting a peek at episode 1 of the imminent 3rd series, in which Detective Inspector Harry Clayton Nesbitt travels to Hong Kong. In the meantime, why not catch up on the first 2 series, following Clayton, a London cop with gambling debts whose fortunes change when he is given a lucky bracelet by the mysterious leather-wearing, motorcycle-riding Eve Alexandre. Sienna Guillory. Stars: James Nesbitt and Thekla Royden. Carnival Films. It's Eve who warns Harry not to abuse his peculiar superpower, the ability to be lucky. Naturally, Clayton is tempted to push his good fortune, but he soon finds out that his lucky breaks are often balanced by other moments of misfortune. The germ of the idea came from AQ. Splendid here with the manners of a detective show, which grows in confidence as it progresses. As in all good comics, Clayton has enemies, notably the criminal mastermind Golding, Senthil Ramamurthy, and, in Series 2, the vampish Isabella, Thekla Royden. Big Sky, Big Dreams, Big Art, made in the USA, BBC 4, 9 p.m. Waldemar Yunushchak is an arts presenter in the evangelical style, pleading with his hands as he persuades with his words. In this film, the first of three, he ventures west, to discover how the alien American landscape, not yet fashioned into the clichés of cowboy movies, inspired artists such as Thomas Moran, whose drawings were instrumental in the decision to make Yellowstone a national park. Janusz Zek's prose has ripened in the sun, too. He talks of the Iron Horse with its relentless gallop and its dragon's breath, a train, and the way it opened up the West, an adventure captured in Moran's biblical interpretation of the scary chasms of the Dantesque Grand Canyon. Death to Smoochie. London Live, 11:15 p.m. Add another rhino to the endangered species list. This time it's a Purple Light Entertainment rhino named Smoochie, under threat from Randolph Smiley, Robin Williams, for taking his prized and lucrative show on kids' TV. Danny DeVito's black comedy, also starring Edward Norton, and its bitter perspective on celebrity has become cult viewing. Spooks. London Live, 10 p.m. More bad news in the wake of the USA's disastrous decision to withdraw from the nuclear deal with Iran. There's a rogue Iranian agent out to disrupt a peace accord between Tehran and London. Oh, for goodness sake. There's the whiff of some expenses claims in the air to solve this particular spot of bother, so Section D pitch a wheeze that involves Adam Rupert Henry Jones traveling to Iran to assassinate the agent and frame it as an internal act of terrorism. As easy as a walk and a garroting in the woods for these pros. To Adam's substantial dismay, the mission fails, and, even worse than that, it transpires that the team have been duped into releasing a biological weapon. Channel 4 catch-up. Mo Salah's fairy tale season is documented on screen. Getty Images. Mo Salah, a football fairy tale. All for this profile of the Liverpool forward is a useful primer for the Champions League final on Saturday. It tells the story of how Mohamed Salah, below, emerged from humble origins in Egypt to become one of the brightest stars of English football. There are interviews with friends and family, as well as Liverpool legends Steven Gerrard, Ian Rush and, John Bishop, who line up to sing his praises. Tomorrow's Worlds, The Unearthly History of Science Fiction, BBC iPlayer. Another outing for Dominic Sandbrook's exploration of sci-fi. The historian joins the dots between Jules Verne's fantasy about a journey to the moon, and the unending popularity of Star Wars, and there's a nod to Kubrick's 2001, A Space Odyssey. Interviewees include Star Trek's William Shatner and Nichelle Nichols and author Neil Gaiman.